Light, quench,
Drunker
shit,
than a bard.
rinse.
Won't get anything out of him. Maybe there's something about testing letters in his notes. I don't know any of these substances. Best not risk destroying the letter. Maybe there's a formula for the activator in the scribe's notes. How did it go? Light, quench, shit, rinse. Thus you will the facts evince. To read the truth by lies deformed, guano into piss transform. I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter. A little burnt lime. A bit of water. Everything's better with a dash of bird guano. Wait for it to dissolve. I need to add burnt lime to the flask, then quench it with water. Add bird guano to that, heat it, then capture the vapors and run them through cold water to obtain the final substance. All right, let's try this on Kimbold's letter. I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter. A little burnt lime, a bit of water. Everything's better with a dash of burnt guano. Wait for it to dissolve. Smells like piss, but it worked. The sheet's orange, not blue. The letter's fake. Kimbold had nothing to do with this.
Calling me sauced? Nah, I'm clear of mind, like a...
You were right, Baron. The letter's forged.
Of course I was right. I would never seek to hurt Boosie. Bastard or not, he is still a child. Your payment, Witcher. I want you to look into another matter.
What would it involve?
Count Linus Maravel. You've heard the name?
Young, capable, handsome.
Yes. Yes, all that and more. And he's ambitious to a fault. Right after the Temerian delegation arrived in Lochween, his people began visiting the Nilfgaardian camp regularly.
Are you suggesting Maravel's a traitor?
We are all entitled to communicate with the ambassador without chagrin and openly, as court and diplomatic protocols allow. Yet the Count's multiple messengers, the letters traveling to and fro, it reminds me more of a complicated courtship.
You're curious to know the content of those letters.
I want you to learn the Count's plans. The man would sell his mother to please the Emperor. Find out what Maravel's messenger is carrying. If treason is involved, you must alert John Natalis. You will be generously rewarded, I assure you.
You need a Witcher to do this?
Do not underestimate Count Maravel. He does not employ common scoundrels, and I don't intend to either. Hieronymus Lash. Sound familiar?
A pretentious, invented name. Belongs to a bard or a mummer, I'd say. But you wouldn't need my help with either of those, so I'll venture a guess. Maravel entrusts his correspondence to a mage.
I knew you were suited to this task. The magic barrier placed over the city mutes all forms of high magic, preventing Lash from contacting Shillard remotely. He nevertheless remains dangerous. During the times of the previous conclave, I believe he was caught practicing black magic. He faced execution, but that louse Maravel saved him.
How do I locate this messenger?
Look for my man Aldrich by the fountain here in the camp. He'll point the mage out to you.
All right, I'll look into it.
My lord, we know where they are. What are your orders?
Bloody wonderful day. Assemble your men and resolve this once and for all.
Gather your gear. We're off to hunt.
Master Witcher!
What do you want?
My lord, the Right Honourable Count Maravel requests the pleasure of your company. He says it's urgent.
Seems like everything is these days. Tell the Count I'll think about it.
One day someone will get you in a dark alley.
Aldrich, Baron Kimbold said you'd point Hieronymus Lash out to me.
Perfect timing. Come with me.
Where's Lash?
Patience, mate. They should be here any minute. Look, I've done my bit. Up to you now.
We've got a tail. Stop him.
Stop there, White One.
What if I don't?
Then I'll fucking help you!
I'd like to see you try.
Consider it done! For Natalis!
That's the one. Kill him.
On Nilfgaard!
Enough! You shall die, here and now.
It's you!
Maravel's letters pretty much confirm your claim. The Count is a traitor.
What was in those letters?
That information is for Constable Natalis. State secret. I'm sure you understand, Baron.
Geralt of Rivia, I am delighted to see you among the living and the free.
Are you serious, Count?
Such an injustice to lock you up without so much as a hearing, and then the beatings, the torture. It's barbaric, I tell you. Based on pure prejudice, the presumption of guilt.
Actually, if I'd seen what they saw.
But alas, such is my homeland, filled with fear and thus ruthless, cold as stone, dark and severe in aura and mindset.
I suppose there's some truth to that.
A response at once cautious and reasonable. Admirable qualities in and of themselves, positively required in your profession.
If you say so. I've got to say you stand out, Count.
I'm flattered, I suppose, but what specifically do you mean?
I haven't quite put my finger on it, but take a look around. Would you say you resemble your countrymen?
I thank the gods I do not. It is because I love my homeland that I am the first to note its faults, and they are many.
Care to elaborate?
Hypocrisy, superstition, lack of learning. Need I go on?
If you wouldn't mind.
Take you witchers, for instance. The gods know we suffer a plague of beasts, pre-conjunction, post-conjunction, magically bred and sprung from rotting marshes and the dark abysses of our land.
No such thing as pre-conjunction creatures.
You bite unnecessarily. We have but one remedy for this plague, dwindling in numbers as it may be, yet it is a remedy we revile. You are shunned, spat upon, turned away on stormy nights. Would you say this is reasonable?
It's the way of things.
Spoken like a true representative of a dying species.
What brings you to Loch Muin?
Concern for my country, Witcher, and an express and somewhat surprising request from Constable Natalis.
Surprising. How so?
Surely you jest, Witcher? Truth be told, few could marshal loyal forces matching mine on such short order, Baron Kimbolt excepted. Yet, though I very much held Foltest's trust, I cannot say that many of my Temerian peers feel the same way.
Why do you suppose that is?
They resent me. I share neither their customs nor their beliefs.
Does the name Brigida Papabrock ring any bells?
Rings bells, sets off whistles. Why? I believe my loins have grown warm. Touch my plums, touch my plums.
Excuse me.
Fruit, Witcher, especially fruit of the south. Tender, juicy, soft on the exterior. That's what I think of when you mention Dame Brigida. The woman is positively obsessed.
I was hoping for a straighter answer.
A man of your experience surely understands what I mean.
So you admit you know her well?
I know her, I have known her, and I expect I yet will, and I'm not alone in that. Though, mind you, I admire the woman. Her kind of ambition is rare among both genders.
Ever taken advantage of that? Ever asked her to run errands for you?
One must be careful with the ambitious. They are almost always running their own errands. Asking them to do yours simply invites them to use you. Baron Kimbolt learned that the hard way. But why ask me about the lass, here and now of all times and places? Surely, given your close allegiance and, no doubt, many a shared drinking binge, Commander Roche has told you all.
Commander Roche can be strangely discreet. What do you know?
I'm hardly one to tell another man's secrets.
Indulge me.
If you must know, the rascal Roche rogered our dear Brigida, just before he passed her off onto me, among others, with a purpose in mind, I suspect.
He'll be interested to hear what you had to say.
My, aren't we dutiful?
Brigida used Baron Kimbolt?
Continues to, I surmise.
To what end?
You cannot expect me to answer every little query that pops into your mind, Witcher.
What's so urgent, Count?
Etiquette is not your enemy, Witcher. It would not hurt you to embrace it at times. In any case, I could not help noticing you circulating in and out of Baron Kimbolt's quarters. Yet I wonder if you are fully aware of the kind of man you serve.
What do you mean?
He cuts a fine figure, doesn't he? The heavy cloak, the silver mane, the booming voice. Yet our worthy Baron is hardly the saint he makes himself out to be.
A lot of that going around recently.
I am in possession of certain information that might interest you.
Mm-hmm. And you want to share it because...
We come from different worlds, Witcher. On the surface, we are as unlike as wraiths and wyverns. Yet, no matter our preferences, culinary, political, erotic, ultimately we both are interested in and tirelessly seek one and the same thing: the truth.
You can talk, Count. I'll grant you that. But I'm not convinced you can be trusted. Baron Kimbold also offered me the chance to learn a certain truth. I don't think I need to say who about.
And you are certain that Kimbold can be trusted?
So far, all the Baron's words have proved true.
Well, then I merely ask that you verify mine. You are not the sole person to have repeatedly visited our kind-hearted Baron recently.
Doesn't seem strange to me, given the time and the place.
He has also had some more troublesome callers, blackmailers to be specific. Now, I'm not handing down any verdicts. Perhaps the Baron has some personal problems, in which case I would very much like to help him.
Get to the point, Count.
My people have learned where these blackmailers are encamped. I assume Baron Kimbold has not been sitting on his hands and has also dispatched his huntsman to find them. A horrible man.
I know who you mean. Ran into him in Kimbold's quarters.
Then you must also know that if you do not make haste, nothing will be left of our blackmailers, save some rotting corpses. I shall show you where they have their camp, and I merely ask that you learn what is at issue. Naturally, you can count on my gratitude, though we both know that is not the greatest reward.
I can't promise you anything, Count, but I'll think about it. Farewell.
What do you want?
I saw you talking to Kimbold.
I'm free to go where I please and talk to whoever I please.
Couldn't agree more. Now you're here and you'll talk to me. I'm interested in the Baron.
I've naught to say to you.
Not good, because I need to know everything you know about him.
Baron Kimbold sends his regards.
Oh, just what we needed.
Leave us, Witcher.
Since when does a Witcher take orders from a huntsman?
Since that Witcher stopped hunting monsters and started poking his nose into others' affairs.
Sometimes the stench is so strong you can't help but catch a whiff.
Aye, well spoken. You've some common stinking thugs here, and I'm to teach them some humility.
A ponce like you? Pucker up and kiss my arse, you fucking tulip!
These folk have nothing to say to you, understand?
I'll be the judge of that.
Lend us a hand, Witcher. You'll not regret it.
I'll need to know everything about Kimbold.
God, this is shit! Enough of your jabbering! Kill them all!
Say goodbye to life! Thanks, Witcher. We'd be corpses if not for you.
Yeah, seems likely. Now don't make me regret helping you.
You're welcome to all we know about Kimbold.
I'm all ears.
We came here to collect our fee, me and me brothers, for a favour we did the Baron.
What did you do for him?
Spent 4 days in a forest, sitting on our asses.
Baron Kimbold wanted to pay you for that?
Course not. We was to destroy some wagons in a caravan that was to pass through Millville. Problem is, caravan never came round.
I can see why you're having trouble collecting.
Kimbolt had shite information. How is that our fault? That bugger lost us a right lot of time. And you know what they say? Time is coin.
What exactly were your orders?
We was to watch the high road for a caravan carrying nobles. 2 coloured wagons and a small escort. The wagons, they was ours. All inside was to perish.
Any idea who was supposed to be in the wagons?
2 high-born young'uns and their nannies. That's all the Baron told us.
Willing to tell Natalis all this?
I'm to fess up. They draw and quarter me.
You didn't do anything. Took a job, that's it. They can't prove you actually wanted to complete it. If you refuse, Kimbolt wins. He'll squirm his way out of this, but it won't end there. The Baron's got gold enough to hunt you till he hunts you down.
Not likely. I'll see them tear stripes off his back with hot pincers. All right, I'll talk to Natalis.
Found the Baron's blackmailers.
And? Did Kimbolt knock up a peasant girl, a healthy one at least?
Unfortunately, it's a national matter, not a personal one.
May I know its essence? As a statesman, matters pertaining to Temeria are of the utmost concern to me.
It looks like Kimbolt hired this group to murder Anais and Busi.
Thank the gods they were only half successful.
This group didn't kill anyone. The convoy carrying Foltest's children changed course. It never arrived where our blackmailers were waiting.
I know the Baron. He approaches things comprehensively. He must have enlisted a second group, which accomplished the terrible deed.
Whichever way you cut it, Kimbolt's a traitor, pure and simple.
Oh my, must have hit the old man pretty hard.
The Baron doesn't know yet.
What are you waiting for, Witcher? Make haste. You must deliver the evidence to the Interrex.
Actually, I was hoping you'd do that. I need to tend to some other matters.
Knowing the constable, I fear he would look upon any accusation I made with distaste. He could very well assume I was merely trying to subvert a natural rival. He might see the evidence as doubtful, even fabricated. But we cannot allow a traitor to play an important role during the summit.
Yeah, I guess we can't.
Besides, to witness the fall of the honorable Baron Kimbolt, I don't know if I could bear it.
I gotta admit, Count, your clearly feigned concern for Kimbolt, well, it makes me wonder.
Yes, I suppose it must. Goodbye, Witcher.
Farewell, Count.
One day someone will get you in a dark alley.
Roche may trust you, but I'm not so sure. What do you want?
There's a traitor among the Temerians.
Careful, Witcher. You'd better have evidence if you plan to accuse someone of treason.
Busi and Anais.
Yes?
Count Marivel outright betrayed Temeria, while Baron Kimbolt planned to murder Foltest's children.
Those are serious charges.
Kimbolt hired some thugs to do the wet work for him. I found them, and one's ready to testify. They never got the job done because the convoy carrying the children changed course, only to fall into an ambush set by Marivel. The Count wanted to hand Anais and Busi over to the Nilfgaardians. You'll find the proof in this letter. Busi's death was an accident.
Dark clouds gather over Temeria. I cannot arrest them both. Their contingents are among the largest in Loch Muin, and I cannot risk mutiny by their men. Thank you, Witcher. You did well to bring this matter to my attention. I only hope Baron Kimbolt will agree to stand with me. So you see, Baron, I have learned all, and it makes me sick to think about it. However, you may count yourself fortunate, for we've a greater problem to deal with. You shall provide me with your full support as we arrest Count Maravel.
This plea sounds more like a threat to me, Constable.
It is no plea, it is an order, and yes, a threat. Refuse, and the Council of Regents shall receive ample evidence of your crime, of your wish to slay the children for whom our king gave his life.
What are your terms, Natalis?
Upon returning to Vizima, I shall destroy the evidence against you. Prior to that, however, I expect your unconditional support.
How can I be certain you will do as you pledge?
My word still means something, unlike yours, you lying, rotting son of a whore.
So be it. But heed this, Constable. Do not try to cross me.
Representatives of the Council of Regents. Did any come with you?
Only Baron Kimbolt and Count Maravel. The other 5 remain in Vizima. It seems that save Baron Orval, most spend their time trying to devise a way to undermine Anais' claim to the throne.
Kimbolt and Maravel. What's their stance?
Well, they've taken opposing positions, as one might expect. The Baron believes Anais' origin, if you will, stands in the way of her taking the throne, though it's common knowledge that he would simply prefer to seat himself on it. Whereas Maravel has said that Foltest's children have his full support. He stated this in Vizima before the entire council. One thing is certain, words come cheap. Those two may change their minds in a flash if Anais is found and recovered.
Impressive summit, but not all the players have their representatives here.
The most important do. The mages thought about inviting everyone, but time is short.
What about Edirn? It's a huge country.
Torn by conflict and rebellion with no clear ruler. They're not to be taken seriously at this point.
Sounds like the Kedweni point of view. The Edirnians see it differently, I'm sure. The mages will want to get as much as they can out of this summit, and monarchs don't generally like others dictating terms. This may end in a row.
There will be no row. The mages now rely on the mercy of the northern kingdoms. The amphitheater itself is also protected by an anti-magic shield, like the one used at Thanedd. The times of mage impunity are gone. They will be shown their place.
What's he doing here?
crystal balls, break your wands, and burn your hats!
Can we go? Brigida Papperbrock. She gave me some pretty good leads.
Tell me.
Baron Kimbold hired some thugs to murder the royal bastards.
Son of a bitch. Foltest never trusted him. Turns out he was right not to.
It was Count Maravel who kidnapped Anais. He wanted to hand both children over to the Nilfgaardians, but Busi was killed.
Damn it all. Radovid is one thing, but Nilfgaard... When I get my hands on Maravel...
You won't. I delivered the evidence against both of them to Natalis, but the constable decided to ask Kimbold for help and arrested Maravel.
Wise. There will come a time for Kimbold as well, but Maravel needed to be removed immediately. A traitor is a traitor. They should take off his head. Can we go?
Let's do this.
Deathmold is a dead man.
I'm guessing you don't have a plan.
In fact, I do. We need to kill Deathmold and rescue the royal child.
You never did like playing it by ear.
I learned from the best.
See that? Deathmold's put up that magic barrier again. Apparently not a single sound seeps through.
I dread to think what he's doing inside.
Why are you here?
We have business with Deathmold.
The sorcerer is busy. No one's to disturb him.
Recognize me?
Should we?
Of course you should, unless you don't care about being promoted.
Who are you?
Now!
This is my banquet. I don't want any unwanted guests. Quickly, up top! Help me up! The low road's yours. I'll take the walls.
Close that! I'll pull your legs out of your arms! Tighter! Tighter! Defend the passage!
I killed them all.
Unit 2! Block the
They'll
passage!
pay dearly! Ready, Geralt!
Hurry over here, you cunts! You're dead, meat! Send for reinforcements! Block that swiving passage!
You were better off making...
Close ranks! Hold your positions! Gotta step backwards! On your positions, you whore sons! Close ranks! For Henselt! Get him!
We're doing well, Geralt! Get him!
Burn it! Watch out!
Wall's clear! I'm coming over to you!
Say your prayers!
They'll cut you down!
What's he doing? Sounds like he's awfully busy. It is. I'll have to interrupt. Nice. Strangely quiet. I can hear him. Deathmold's here and he's not alone.
Did you see Radovid's retinue? I swear the snot-nosed lad thinks he's king of the world. He should never have shown up here after the recent events in Redania. Honestly, if he grows to be another Vizimir, I hope he ends up like the first. And those robes of his, did you see? All right, there's time for one more. Pants off. You've broken my arm! You've broken my arm! Do you know it's worth, you son of a bitch?
Now it's worth shit like the rest of you.
What do you want? I'll give you anything.
You can't give back what you took from me. Cutting off your balls and slitting your throat will have to do.
No!
You reap what you sow. Time to free Foltest's daughter.
Have mercy! He forced me!
Are you all right? I am Vernon Roche of Temeria. This is Witcher Geralt.
She's terrified.
If Deathmold touched her, I'll kill the son of a bitch all over again.
What'll you do with the child, Vernon?
I made an arrangement with Radovid, and Vernon Roche always keeps to his word.
So be it. Let's go.
Don't be afraid. I was your father's soldier. I'll not let anyone harm you.
Looks like someone's provided an escort.
In the name of King Radovid, we demand that you hand over the child of Louisa Lavalette.
Shame you didn't show up earlier.
Pay heed to whom you're talking.
Pay heed to the corpses of those who were impolite to us.
You're lucky Radovid told us to stay calm.
I'll be sure to thank him personally for that.
Beware of Radovid, Vernon.
Rest assured, I'd never forgive myself if the heiress to Foltest's throne came to any harm.
Don't ever take your eyes off her. I wouldn't be surprised to learn Radovid had a hand in Lucy's death.
It is possible. Anais is Temeria's last chance for ultimate independence, and freedom will come sooner or later.
Plan to serve Radovid now?
Geralt, damn it, stop wandering around! Henselt won't have me. Temeria is all I care about. I'll serve it best under Radovid. I can breathe easier now that the scumbag is dead.
Revenge unburdens you of your past, but it also affects your future.